Hey J360 Legion, welcome to another J360 MiniBytes.
Monster Fest. J360 Radio.
Hey, what's going on J360 Legion? How are you all doing tonight? This is J-Man, of course, here for Monster Fest 2025, and of course J360 MiniBytes 256. Dang, we climbing up the ladder on this one. Yes, it's been a while since I've been on the old classic J360 radio provided by Mixler.com. And I gotta say, like, you know what? It feels so good to come back to it for a little bit, you know, because we are still doing the big transition. We still are kind of moving on from all this. But I gotta say, they made some new moves here. And the way I'm looking at a few things, the UI is actually really exciting. Let me see. Oh, wow, they did a great job. Wow. Should we even leave at this point? Should we? Decisions. But like I said, I'll make my final decision about this once J360 Productions Day, which is November 16th, comes around. But like I said, though, I like the fact that I'm over here and I'm producing all this content and stuff for you guys. In addition to, it's time to go back to, you know, time to go back to school. Dang. You know, it's like one way or another. Whenever I get a little time, that is a little time, because it's either I got to go ahead and handle things academically, or I got to go handle things business-wise, or I got to go handle things, you know, day-to-day wise. You know what I mean? It's always something. But, hey, that's life. Whatever. And, you know, things are really looking good in my favor these days, so I ain't mad about it. The only thing I do want to talk about, though, is how Monster Fest rolled out this year. And no, it was not my intention for it to roll out, like, because I know it was a lot more condensed, and I know it was a lot more, like, it felt kind of sparse, right? But either way, we made the moments count for what we had, not to mention those Stellar Jams episodes, the J-Man episodes, and, you know, even the mini-bytes were really, really on point, but I didn't get to throw as many reviews out to you guys. I didn't get to go ahead and do exactly what I wanted to do for this year's fest. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Next year is shaping up to look really, really great. And not to mention, it will be a lot more content. It will be bigger, better, and badder than this one and 2024's combined. Because, like, it's time for that whole thing to take place. And like I said, there wouldn't be anything in the way at that point. So I'm able to get a lot more done. And I've taken the time to go ahead and write down significant notes and everything. So what we're going to be doing for this week is, since there isn't a jams, and I remember I had that one special idea. I didn't get to roll it out last weekend because I had something to take care of. So this week, we might do a little bit of a mix of the alternative schedule and the weekend rush. I won't be here tomorrow because sentimental values. But Friday, however, you might get something. Saturday, you're definitely getting something nice. So it's going to be pretty cool to see. And not to mention, as long as I keep the homework at bay, I can be able to do a little bit of anything. But, man, just one more. I gotta hold in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I totally get how things were for the fest this year. But you see, the best part about it is, I can actually take bits and pieces of the Monster Fest and bring it to you throughout every part of the year. So, you know, there'll be a few episodes running through here where we go ahead and discuss a few things. And who says Christmas can't be scary, you know? As many impacts as it does to my wallet every year, I'm kind of terrified. I'm like, you know, I don't want to do Christmas. But yeah, like I said, you know, I can go ahead and extend the fest to like other things and, you know, certain weeks and what we have to come. You know, you might get a little bit of a reminiscent of it all. So don't be like, you know, oh, the fest was kind of, you know, whatever this year. The truth is that I already have a contingency plan in mind for you all. So you just stay tuned to see what all rolls out. And another reason why we're doing J360 Radio Classic tonight is because I just wanted to see how things were as I move on from this and I started producing on, you know, YouTube and other outlets a little bit more. Like, this outlet is great, and like I said before, you never know, might come back to it. It really depends on the need, the demand, and what we can do. Okay? But as for anything, evolution is taking place, and I got to be with it, or, you don't have it no more. See what I'm saying? And I really want to do a lot more videos and filmmaking, so that's pretty much on the table right now, and you just can't have it both ways. So it's just one of them kind of things to look into. But like I said, J360 Radio's outlet will always be available, so don't worry about that. It's not going away. As a matter of fact, it's still going to be there, because Red Circle's doing great, Apple's doing great, Amazon Music and Audible is doing great. I do know about like some of the outlets being on Spotify. I'm about to get rid of that, so yeah, that's going away, because honestly, I do not like how any of these big companies are acting around us nowadays. See, at one time it was supposed to have been about enjoyment. Now the whole thing is about bullying and control. So, F all that. F all that. And it's a when I do that, y'all, I'm very disgusted. I'm like, this is just... It's damning. Like, if you take a look at all this evidence right now, it is damning. And speaking of which, a certain other evil company is doing a little too much than they should anyway, and they just ended their whole privacy sandbox. And if that is a good indicator of who I'm talking about, read between the lines, okay? So, yeah, I'm sure that a lot of y'all know this stuff. A lot of these companies are not on our side if they have ever been, and they try to use us to get to us, which is, if that is not a classic horror story, I don't know what is. Outside of the monsters that do on Maple Street, but then again, the monsters are all over here on Wall Street and every other institution that's floating around us. And, the thing about it is, they wouldn't be anything without us. So that's like the weirdest kind of thing, Yeah, the order of operations, man. Order of operations indeed. But outside of all that, though, let's see about like certain things I do have for you all. Now, Jam's 124 was friggin' awesome. That was a good one for the books, just like 123. And, I figured this, like, because I haven't done a recap for you guys and stuff, I was thinking maybe there could be another way I could get that stuff out to some of y'all, because I know a lot of us can't make it to the live streams at the same time, even as I do them right now. So the idea is, what better way to present it to you all again outside of VOD would be to... Yeah, I don't think I should tell you. I think I'm going to show you guys this time. So you know what? Stay tuned for something to happen on Friday night, if you get my drift. You'll love it. And then not to mention, I recategorized a lot of the special projects and all that stuff. The special projects are not called special projects anymore. They are actually going to be under the J360 Productions Limited label. Yep. A lot of the limited series, like when I did Frightful Refrains Volume 1 and 2's listening parties with Frankenstein, the good doctor, if you will, those episodes will be on the schedule too. There's going to be a lot of things coming for you guys. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow, but Friday is a good example of, you know what, let's just enjoy All Hallows Eve the right way and go ahead and present certain things to you that you may have seen or you may not have seen. Either way, we're going to have a nice little celebration to wrap up one of the biggest days in Monster Fest. In addition to, like, Saturday, November 1st, is the last day of Monster Fest. So we'll just finish strong. And not to mention, I'm in that weird place in the Monster Fest movies, by the way. You guys know how it goes. Like, when you see something that's really, really scary, something really impactful, and then you land into, like, candy corn. At least candy corn is somewhat enjoyable. But this is pretty much like, yeah, this sucks. I'm in that, hey, we're just trying to be outlandish and weird, and we're not even trying to have no substance in our horror at this moment. I'm in the weird side of the Monster Fest right now. It's just like, come on, something better than this. Come on. It was like that time when I was watching, what was it, Territory with Marco, and we were both looking at that. We were like, what the hell is going on? It was like, yeah, son, yeah. That happened, It's just odd to me. But when I look at that kind of stuff, I'm like, hey, look, at least we're having a good time. At least we're making it. It's corny, yes, but you know what? we managed to see what we managed to see. We're going to see something even better. And funny part about it is a lot of the Christmas horror films are starting to appear now. So that's why it's like, you know what? The Monster Fest will just exist in other extensions throughout the rest of the year. And I'm good for it too. And then not only that, you know, I don't think I reviewed the Thanksgiving movie in depth on this series either. So lots of stuff to bring your way. And if you guys are all for it, I could do a few Nightmare Tales in November. Nobody said I couldn't. So we just make it count, you know what I mean? So we'll finish strong for like the rest of the Monster Fest, extend it if possible, and then we'll go ahead and we'll make it all whiffed away. Or whenever the Monster Fest win goes away. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, let's see. That being said, though, Jams 125 is up for submissions now. So any of you artists out there who would like to be a part of J360 Jams, email me at j360jams@gmail.com with 2 tracks and a link that best sells you. It could be a Bandcamp, it could be a SoundCloud, it could be a YouTube, it could be a Spotify. You know, even though Spotify's in hot water right now, most times it's kind of like why I'm still on like Facebook, social media and stuff like anything Meta or X-Base. I'm on there because you guys are there. That's the only reason. Like it ain't for me. I know when to leave the hell out of this stuff and take the brand with me, but the idea is you guys are there. So that's why, like, you know, working with y'all about things. Like, if I'm doing real in-depth communications or if I got other things laid out, you'll probably see, like, a highlight. You won't see, like, the whole thing because, you know, Facebook cannot afford me. And the truth is, with all this other stuff that's going on with big tech these days, you know, come to the source, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all coming out one way or another, and you're seeing it. But let me just get back into like about more and more about Jams. Jams is right there for you. The opportunity is there. I want to see like who's going to show up, and I want to see who's going to return, and it'll be really awesome. And like I say, that episode will be happening. Let me get my calendar up here right quick. That episode is happening on the 7th. So November 7th will be when the next J360 Jams episode is happening. Now, it's not a Monster Fest episode per se, but I will allow Halloween-based tracks on there too. Okay? If anything, it's one hell of a great fall episode, and there might be signs of pumpkins that'll shift with jack-o'-lantern faces and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like I said, I can make references to the Monster Fest, and that should go ahead and work that out for all of us, you know? The payoff is there, baby. It is there. Like, you know, like I said, I felt like for this installment of the fest, it's kind of like, it's not, let's just say this. It's kind of like Friday the 13th 5. You know what I mean? Like, interesting, but weirdly executed, you know? And that'll be the most time I'm ever going to reference the top 3 in this fest, you know? Because at the end of the day, there's lots of monsters out there to look into. So it's one of those kind of things. Or let's say, think of the worst Godzilla film from the Showa series. Terror of Mechagodzilla wasn't that bad. Actually, that's right for the season. That was not the worst one. A lot of people say it was Godzilla versus Megalon, but I don't understand that either because I love that film. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's just say this: we're gonna finish strong. We're gonna make the episodes look really, really great. Far as we go, we got the MiniBytes right now, and you'll have the J-Man show happening on Friday. In addition to a certain thing that's going to be happening on Saturday. So you just stay tuned for all of that, alright? Special project, I would say, but J360 Limited, more or less. I want you all to take care of yourselves. This is J-Man signing off. Peace.